Welcome to Coming In Hot. Thank you live from Airplay Beats for the intro music. We are recording live from Darling New Media Studios in Midtown Sac. So before we get started here, I want to thank everybody for the lovely comments that Nash and Proper got for opening our new location in Elk Grove, Laguna West. So everybody out there that's heard, we are opening our new Nash and Proper restaurant, Laguna West, coming this summer. So be out there looking. If you're in the Elk Grove area, east or west side of Elk Grove, please come check us out. I know you guys got funk out there, but come out, have some delicious hot chicken sandwiches and a lot more on our menu out in Elk Grove location. We are super excited to be opening up in Elk Grove, one of the places, probably the top of our list. Even before we opened up downtown, we've been looking in Elk Grove for about 2.5 years now. So along with that, this is a new part of Coming In Hot. I want you guys to meet the crew behind Nash and Proper. So this will be coming, I say, maybe every month and a half, every 2 months. We're going to have a different crew member of the Proper crew coming in, telling their story, and coming in hot. So today's guest is a very, very special man. He is my business partner. If you guys are looking at anything social media, this is the guy. This is Jake Bombard, co-owner of Nash and Proper. What up, Jake?
Hey, that's an introduction there.
Yeah, this is how we doing it. Coming in hot, Jake.
Hey.
Coming in hot, baby.
I just need you to follow me around, like
just introduce you to everybody.
Go ahead and out. Hey, everybody.
Jake is coming.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, of course, man. And this wouldn't be a Meet the Crew if everybody didn't meet Jake Bombard. One half of of Nash and Proper. So a little background about me and Jake. We met 07, 08 at Crush 29 in Roseville. For the first, I don't know, man, maybe first few months, we really didn't cross paths. I was a nighttime supervisor at the time, and if anybody knows about pastries, they come in pretty early just so they could get everything, ready for the day. All the stuff that's cooled overnight, they got a pool. All you pastry chefs or any other chef with any kind of knowledge about the restaurant industry knows this, but me and Jake didn't cross paths. And then he became more of the head pastry chef at Crush 29. Then he ended up, doing some cross training. So he was there at night, and we hooked up, and we, been kind of inseparable for a long time now. If you guys remember Cecil's Taste Food Truck, he was my truck manager, and now we're business partners with Nash and Proper. So I just want to get started and kind of get a little bit of background. I kind of know your full background, but when we're at Meet the Crew, I really want you, tell everybody, where you're from, how you got started in the culinary game, and like what you're doing in Nash and Proper right now. So the floor is yours, Jake.
For sure. So take it all the way back to little Jake. I was, I cook family here and there, it's something that I really enjoy doing. And so, I couldn't see myself going down any other path. I decided to go to culinary school, went to CCA. That's something you there.
Mm-hmm. When did you
Got
graduate
to
from
San
CCA?
Francisco. Was that '04?
All right, so I
So,
was a year after you.
um, you're about a year after me. Super green, never been in a kitchen, never cooked professionally ever, but I just decided it's something that I could see myself doing. Um, there was all kinds of commercials running on TV at that time. You could
Mm-hmm.
be a chef,
Oh
you
yeah.
could be a sous chef.
Yeah, with the
This
yacht,
this
your yacht
exciting
and the ship
career.
behind you. Yeah, I remember them commercials.
It got me for sure. I was like, oh, I could be a sous chef. I could be exec chef. Yeah, let's
Yep.
do this. And
Uh-huh.
so, sign those papers, give them that big old money, and I was off to San Francisco.
Let me back you up for right here
Being from
because
SAC.
let hold on a second. So for people that didn't just pick that up, Jake been making a lot of money for a long time because little old people like me, we gotta get student loans. Jake paid for it in one swoop. That's how long you been making money for, guys.
Hey. That was all the money. It went from my account to their account, and then after that, it's nothing but zero after that. Because these sure ain't out of there as a sous chef or salary position. They back you up with $8 an hour after that if you're lucky.
All
For
right,
sure.
continue, man. Continue.
So moving from SAC to San Francisco was its own thing. Like I never in urban area that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Lived in the city.
Mm-hmm.
It was just full of like new experiences and a lot of dirty people. I mean, I lived in the Tenderloin. We both lived in the Tenderloin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it's like until you live down there, and you're constantly walking through just like puddles of people that are just like strung out on the streets.
Yeah.
I remember I seen this lady. She just got spit on. She was walking down the street. She got spit on by some dude. It was, this is filthy.
Yeah.
So that was like definitely an eye-opening experience to
Mm-hmm.
be in that. Did my time there, graduated. I just barely made it. Like I wasn't super enthusiastic. I missed as many days as I could when I was going to school. I was out doing other things.
Yep.
But graduated and then decided to do my externship down in San Diego.
Okay.
It was either Hawaii
did you
or
work?
San Diego.
Did you work when you're in San Francisco? I don't even know if I ever asked you. Were you working or were you just going to school and partying a little bit?
I was still Starbucks. So my background before culinary school was Starbucks. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked my way through. I picked up a position out there at the gates of Chinatown. There's a Starbucks right there. So I would pick up shifts there about 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Probably should have got a kitchen job. That way it would have been made more sense. But I was still into the Starbucks life.
They wouldn't have paid you. Like you went the route
true.
where you needed money. Yeah. Quick sidebar. I never knew what a stage was until I was working at Aqua, and it was like maybe the second or third day I was there. And the chef, he hired me as, a stage. And I was like, whatever, cool. I'll do that, because it was probably the top restaurant in San Francisco at the
It
time.
says stage when you read it. Like,
yeah,
okay.
exactly. He's like, stage, yeah, whatever. So I go in there, and it's probably the second or third day I'm there. I'm working with one of the line cooks, and I look to him, and I'm like, hey, when do we get paid around here? And he said, he was like, aren't you on a stage? And I was like, yeah, I'm on a stage. I was like, what does that mean, by the way? He's like, that means you don't get paid. So I took a cigarette break, so I planned it out. I put my knife bag next to the back door where everybody goes out and smokes cigarettes. I was like, "Hey, chef, I'm about to go, smoke a cigarette. I'll be right back." Grab my grab my knife bag. Never came back. So that's good that you didn't look, because that's what you would have been doing. You're green. You don't have any experience. You would have been over there peeling potatoes or turning vegetables or whatever. So you needed money. So you went to Starbucks. You already knew what Starbucks was. You already been familiar with Starbucks. So you're going for your externship. Do you know people down in San Diego or Hawaii? Is that, or was it just like, these are the two places I want to go?
I wanted to learn how to. I was like, I need to go somewhere with the ocean.
Okay.
I didn't know anywhere. I didn't know anybody, but the exec chef from San Diego, from La Jolla, he came up at a hiring fair. So
Mm.
met him. He seemed like a cool guy, and then we set it up so that I could fly down there and, like do a stage,
Mm-hmm.
see what it's like, see how we run and see how I work. And, it felt comfortable. It felt like a good move. There was no like red flags. I was like, this is a nice kitchen. Everybody's here to work. Like I could see myself doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I wanted to go do Hawaii, but it cost $1,000 to ship a car. And I remember that being a big barrier. I was like, I can't. That was the defining moment between the two. And
Yeah.
so we chose San Diego.
Now on that Starbucks hourly rate, you ain't shipping that car.
$1,000 held me back from doing all that, but hindsight's 2020. Maybe when I retire, then we'll end up in Hawaii one of these
There you
days.
go. I don't know if it might cost a little bit more now. I don't know if it's $1,000 anymore. All right, so you choose Roy's because you just feel the vibe down there. It's a good vibe. You're vibing with everybody that you're working with. Is there any stumbling blocks, or was it just like you're fish to water kind of thing? Like how was it like? Because I knew when I first started in at Moxie Restaurant down here in Midtown, um, I just got through right in. It wasn't no training. They'll show you how to do shit once, and that's it. If you don't get it after that, you're gonna get a pan thrown at your head. You might get a plate, thrown at you. Like how was it as being green going to Roy's, which is all around the country, but they're pumping. Like I recently went to the one in San Francisco, and they're busy. So how was it coming from culinary school where you're really not getting that much experience being on the cook line? How was the transfer from CCA to Roy's in San Diego?
They start you out in pastry, so that's where my pastry background comes. It's hard. I mean, pastry is precise, but there's a little bit of room for, like, if you're green, that's a good place for somebody to start.
Mm-hmm.
You start building your recipes. You have a formula to go on, and the timing isn't as crazy as being a line cook. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little bit more, wiggle room, I guess you should say. So it's a good place for me to start, and
Mm-hmm.
started doing parties as well. So all the
Mm-hmm.
big banquets, you're building the salads for that. You're
Mm-hmm.
doing the prep for those salads. So you're working on your knife skills. You're building the dressings from scratch. It's nothing difficult, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a good place for you to start.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was a good place. I would mess up on a couple salads, or my knife cuts wouldn't be to spec, and they just make you throw everything out,
Mm-hmm.
start over. And
Mm-hmm.
that was like, oh shit, okay, like I
Yeah,
can't
for
do that
real.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember one day I have all my plates laid out on a folding table, and it fell through the grates on like the floor, bow, and all the solids, tink, 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 all onto the floor. All the plates broke, all the solids broke.
Oh
I was like,
man.
shit, like that was my like red face moment for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I had a mentor down there. His name was Apoli.
Mm-hmm.
He came to me. He was like an island guy, he was from Kauai, and he just took me aside one day. He was like, "Look, you gotta get your shit together. I don't think none of it was terrible, but he's like, you gotta get that wake up call every now and then. Be like, hey, start paying more attention to this and that." And
Mm-hmm.
that he always, it came from a good place. He wanted me to do well, and
Mm-hmm.
so I felt like that. And other than that, I got started getting more comfortable. Started working in different stations.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could work pantry on a busy night.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, their pantry was crazy. Like there's a lot of apps and a lot of salads and stuff coming off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and working the dessert station on my own. It's a training, that one. So you get all the new execs and the new sous coming
Mm.
in from all around the country, and you're training them how to do it.
Oh wow.
Um, I would say one thing that I noticed and I wanted to say was, I would see all the other cooks. They would come in early, and I was like, "What are these guys doing?" They're off the clock, but that culture they have down there of trying to make yourself better, learn your
Mm-hmm.
station when you're not working.
Yeah.
And I started paying attention to that, and I think
Mm-hmm.
that's it's, yeah, you're giving up your time, but you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
Every station that you work, you get an extra dollar down there. So
Mm.
okay, I want to push myself so I
Mm-hmm.
can I can move up the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was something that kind of taught me a little bit my work ethic, and how I could better myself, because the cooks are more than willing to teach you what they know.
Yeah.
It's a very good culture to be in, and I'm super thankful that I was brought up in that restaurant, because all the cooks were there to be chefs.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't just there like because they didn't have anything else going on. They weren't like a roofer or a plunger, and this was like their side job. This was what they
Yeah.
meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super thankful that I was brought up, within that culture.
Yeah, and that's a great culture to be in, especially starting out, because you don't get that too many places where people are open and show you the ropes. Um, some people, they always think that you're out to get their job, which most of the time you are, but you start to build these relationships also where you're just trying to you know all right, what can we do together down the road? And that kind of seems like something that Roy's was doing, where you're gonna have this relationship with these cooks and with these different chefs that you meet. Where I'm sure there's a couple people from Roy's where you can call right now and just chop it up with, because there's
Hmm.
there's not there's not too many places like that. There's not too many kitchens where you see. I haven't been in fine dining kitchen for a long, long time, but I was that guy that came in. I'll wake up, you know, 9 in the morning, shifts at 4, but I'll be there at noon, getting everything ready, and that is a lost art in kitchens nowadays. You get people coming in maybe 5 minutes early, and are people coming in right at the time they're supposed to clock in and still getting dressed, got to put their stuff away, you know. Well, they clock in first, then they do all this bullshit, and that's, it's a lost art because I came up in, the same era that you did. And, I think I was in the kitchen before I went to culinary school, but that was just something that was ingrained in me, like, with the aqua thing, like I needed to get paid. Like I was 25 years old living in San Francisco. I didn't have moms and pops to, send me money or anything like that anymore. I was out on my own for, a few years at that point. There's no, hey, mom, can you send me a care package? You know, she'd be like, you better go get a job, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? so well, so we're at Roy's. So what gets you out of Roy's? Because it seems like you're having a great time. What makes you say, hey, I've been here long enough. What was your next move after Roy's, and why did you leave Roy's?
You know, my wife and I, Susan, she moved down there with me. We just decided it was time to come home. Like, we missed, all my friends came down to visit, and I just missed my homies, you know. I mean, I had my chef friends down there, and you know, we all had a good time, but it just never felt like, you know, if shit hits the fan, somebody got my back. You know, we're cordial, we have a good time, we party, but you know, just having those people known, you know, for pretty much the majority of your life, you know, you miss them, and you miss your family. You know, like, it's a big deal to, you know, miss Thanksgiving or miss Christmas. You know, it's a flight, but you know, can you get the time off to go? You know, it just missed it all around. Those connections with the people that, you know, matter most, I guess.
Right, I hear
So
you.
we made the decision to fly back up here, or move back up here, and you know, my first, once we got into town, I was like, Firehouse. Firehouse is the number one restaurant in Sacramento. That's, you know, it's that fine dining restaurants. Put in my application over there, and you know, I was out the door, and my phone rings. You know,
Yeah.
hey, you want a position? You know, we'd like to bring you in for a second interview.
All
I'm like,
right.
oh shit, like, inside one. You know, it might be a little red flag.
Yep. Sorry, you glitched out pretty hard there. So, we lost you at second interview with the Firehouse. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. His Wi-Fi is shit on us. We could X that out though.
Okay.
So we're at the phone rings. They're at the second interview.
Second interview, you know, I go back in. You know, I take a job there as a pantry cook. You know, it's a little bit below my. By then, you know, I thought, you know, I should have a better job or something in pastry, but you know, I took the job, and you know, started working there, and you know, it wasn't exactly, you know, the same, you know, I guess culture or kitchen culture that I've been used to in San Diego. You know, like, a lot of burnout, a lot of like random people, a lot of riffraff. You know, people just trying to make it by. You know, and it was just like, I was blown away. I was blindsided by the situation. You know, like, handle this.
You're yeah, this is a regular kitchen right here.
Yeah, this is definitely a regular kitchen.
You know, yeah, Roy's had you over there thinking, oh, everything gonna be nice and clean, and you know, everybody got their teeth in their mouth. Yeah. You stepped into a real culinary professional kitchen.
That's a reality check right there. But this is the
you
other
thought that
side
was gonna be your life. This is your life, bro.
So I don't know what you know, what other fine dining restaurants, you know, in Sac at that time were looking like, but that was my reality, was being at Firehouse, and I was like, man, like, I gotta keep it here for at least a year so that I can get it on my resume, set down some roots. You know, I didn't super love it, but you know, I made do. I worked for Chef Deneb. You know, I I love that guy.
Shout out to Neb.
Hey, Chef Deneb, and just watching how he ran a kitchen and everything he put into that place, it definitely rubbed off on me for sure. And how organized he kept his recipes and his food costs. I was like, that opened my eye. I was like, oh, this is a good chef to work for. But the rest of it was a little off. I never worked in a union house either, so it's union, and there'd just be like random new people working there,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize I had to apply for positions in order to get. So like, I wanted to be a pastry prep or potentially be the pastry chef, but I didn't know I had to apply. No one like really sat me down and was like, look, this is what you gotta do. So it's just like random people would be, and now I work for you. Like it was just weird.
Yeah.
And a lot of characters coming and going.
All right. So you finish up with you were still working at Firehouse when you came to Crush, right?
Yeah, I was doing 2 jobs. I pretty much always had 2 jobs. When I was at Roy's, I was doing a bed and breakfast, cooking breakfast there. And then came up here and was like, oh, my boy, he was like, you gotta go work at Crush 29. I tried to go there. They don't allow people that wear hats. There's a no hat policy there. They didn't let him in because he was wearing a hat. And he was like, it's a nice place. You should go check it out. So I was like, oh, let me go see what this is all about. And it worked. It fit the bill. Like I was like, this is a cool position. I could come in and do pastries when I'm not at Firehouse. I like playing the two against each other so that I always have a backup plan. Maybe Firehouse isn't going the way. I could go to Crush 29 and get some more hours there.
Yeah.
But that's where I kind of started doing pastry. And it was all on me. Like the menu was pretty much set, but then once some chefs came and gone, and you started taking the lead. I was able to make my own menu, come up with my own desserts and my own specials, and that was a pretty special time for myself, and growing professionally. I was able to see, how well my dishes did for that was like the first time where it really clicked, where I was like, oh, okay, like I can be a pastry chef,
Yeah, and you definitely did your thing out there. We're running fast, but we got shit done at the same time. And it was great to see you grow. I never knew, because when Irie brought you in, he was like, oh, this guy's from the Firehouse, like, pastry chef. And I was like, oh, cool, because at that point, I think we were just kind of, like shoehorning people into these positions. And, like we had an opening pastry chef. And then his name was Will. Shout out to Will if you're out there. And then I forget the gal's name, Heather. And I think she was kind of self-taught, but her and Will were working together. But when Will got let go, she took over, but she was just a hot mess. Like absolute, like come in the morning, she'd be over there crying, and it was just like, how we got tears on our buns, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then Irie was like, oh, we got this guy from Firehouse, but he picked it up. I never knew that you were that green with pastries back then until we got to chopping it up, and kind of I was just like, so where did pastries come? And you're like, oh, I did it at Roy's as a an intern. You picked it up. Shit, like it's something that a lot of people can't do, especially in pastry, where it's just so scientific. What I do, is just taste adjust, taste, adjust, but the pastry side just was never my cup of tea. But
I thrive in that situation, like you give me exactly what you want and
yeah.
it's gonna be done. Like I don't have to like
I know. Yeah, you give you a blueprint, you gonna get that shit done, All right, so we could go on and on about Crush 29, but we gotta get to
okay, there.
oh man, we gotta have a round table on that one. We could bring in a few people for that. So we're gonna skip the rest of Crush 29. If you guys want to know what happened to Crush 29, Google that bitch. All right.
I watched it. We both watched it go down.
I got put in jail, so I was gone. You know what I mean? And you and Daryl, and oh man, you guys went down with that damn ship for sure.
I was over there. I was that guy with the violin on the Titanic over there, just waiting for it to sing. He still owe me money.
Hey, so
shout out, babe.
Oh, shout out, babe. Shout out, Abe. So we're done with Crush 29. I give you a call asking where you are. You're working at Intel. Out of all these, not in the kitchen. You're just working at Intel. I'm like, Jake, I need you. Hop on Superman's cape. Let's go. We do Crush 29 for a couple years. You're again looking elsewhere, crepe, yogurt shop, coffee shop. You're all over the place. I look at you one day, we're doing these sandwiches out of UC Davis. I'm like, dude, this is a concept. This goes on for a couple months. I'm like, hey, we're doing a catering for your wife's employees. I'm like, let me put this chicken sandwich out, or this chicken. It was this hot chicken at the time. Serve it with some pickles on a white bread. First time, we ate the Nash and Proper hot chicken. We've had KFC before. We both thought it was disgusting. We eat this hot chicken that the recipe that I came up with. We both look at each other. This is it,
That's that aha moment.
It was the aha moment. What was so? Why did you say let's do it after, there's a couple months of kind of pinching and prodding you? What was the final, like, okay, let's try it?
I think it's just, like tasting that and realizing, how important that was, that bite. I just probably both your and I's moment of like, that's probably the best bite, of a life-changing bite, if there is one,
Yeah.
And I think we both, it just clicked, it was time to do that. And that was Christmas Eve-ish, Christmas time. And then we started talking about how we could put this idea to work, and like what we started right around June.
Yeah, that first R Street. Yeah, because we're still, the recipe wasn't finished by a long shot, but we were still serving this chicken sandwich on Cecil's Taste, because I think we're heavy in UC Davis, heavy in UC Merced, and that was a good summer.
I was grinding over there.
That was a good summer. All right, so
lines of people.
oh man, yeah, that was good. 2 times a week at least. Just making these lines of hundreds of people. One of the craziest times on a food truck ever. Serving that many people and these short days or these 2 days. I believe we're doing over 400 or 500 people a day. It was crazy. So Nash and Proper, we, like I said in the beginning, Jake, I always call him a Renaissance man because he knows a little bit about everything, and he teaches himself. He, the social media. Why did you come to me and you're like, hey, you got the food. I want to, and you straight up told me, you're like, I want to do this social media from scratch. And I was like, you go right ahead. So what was your thinking behind it, the social media game at that time? And what are you thinking about social media today?
Well, let's see. At that time, I was even incorporated as a brand. Like I told you, I wanted to build a brand, and I want
Mm-hmm.
to see what that's like. Like I've just seen other brands, come and go. I've been heavy into sneaker culture, heavy
Mm-hmm.
into hype beast, heavy into car culture. It's just been, I watch what people, gravitate towards, and trends. And so, like just watching the rise of Supreme, or watching, like the death, it's having a renaissance right now, but of the hundreds, or Huff, they just took a brand and they took a idea and they just blew it up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just something, I was interested in, trying to either replicate or, follow along with what they got going on. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to bring those visuals. I went to Miami on a trip, and I saw this building that was stripes, and it was black and white, the
Hold on,
whole
hold on.
building.
Stop right there. When Jake was in Miami, he was rolling a Lambo. All right, continue.
Hey, I was trying. I didn't. I didn't know to have like a $500,000 or $1 million insurance policy, so I didn't get the Lambo. We just walked.
Yeah.
I don't even think Uber was around back then.
All right.
So we went to Wynwood Walls in Miami, and it's like a big art area, and so they have all the art out there. And I saw this one building in stripes, black and white stripes, black and white, and the whole building was striped like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is the vision I want for my business. At that time, it was prior to National Proper for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, this needs to be like where I want to gravitate towards. So I took pictures of the building. I made like ideas up of what it could look like, and I started applying that when we started talking to National Proper. Like, okay, this is the foundation for how
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna look. We have that same pattern is known as Dazzle Camo,
Mm-hmm.
and it was popular for battleships in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was so that you couldn't see a boat on the horizon. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this needs our our food trucks are our battleships. Let's and apply it to our food trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where that idea came from.
Yeah.
And then a little long winded there, but I just started. I always had a passion for photography, and wanted to bring that with the food, with the side of food, and bring it all for National Proper. So I started
Mm-hmm.
taking tight pictures, look up and see. see, what's trending, how to make, your food, look like you need it, and that was, something that in the early days I was super heavy on doing that. As far as where the future of social media is going, um, is that TikTok generation right now, and it's something that I need to work on myself. Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a young kid anymore. I'll go on TikTok and watch videos for sure. It's a good way to spend an evening or something. But like,
It's a good way to spend the evening.
I feel like an old man when I'm going on there. I was like, man, I'm not tuned into these kids. And I'll be honest with them. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't got it, but it's something that I want to learn. Like, I tried to make some videos, and they're like, Then one of them didn't hit at all. Everybody was like complaining, saying that our food looked terrible, and I was just like, nah, like, let's scratch that.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
different algorithm out there completely.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, Caden, he used to have one, but his dad told him he can't have it no more. So I have no idea what TikTok does, but we're gonna figure it out, Jake.
We're gonna
Um,
figure it out.
we're gonna figure it
We,
out.
we need some youngsters on board.
Yeah, oh for sure. Hey, so we're gonna hop into the next section of coming in hot. You ready to play some games?
All right,
All right.
let's go.
All right. We got 2 top 5s for you. All right.
Okay.
So, first top 5 is Jake Bombard's top 5 restaurants. Dead or alive, Jakers?
Let's see. In no order. I'm not putting it in any order here. Let's go. Viet
Okay.
Ha.
Viha. All right.
Viet Ha, Stockton Boulevard, or Foreign Road and Stockton Boulevard. Or rice plates are fire.
Okay.
Let's go. The burger at Casbah with the harissa oil or the harissa aioli. Fire.
Okay.
Let's go. Luigi's Pizza
All
on
right.
Stockton
Stockton.
Boulevard.
We staying in
Wow.
Stockton Boulevard. All right.
I just found this place. I've lived here my whole life practically, and this place has been around forever. But I'm new to it, and I'm excited about it. Just let's see. Dude, Popeyes. You, it's a good meal.
I ain't mad at it.
The red beans and rice, always a treat. It's the best.
You try them
There's
apple
nothing wrong with
pies yet? You try them apple pies yet?
I had apple pie.
Yeah, them apple pies are fire.
And then let's go Journey to the Dumpling, because
All
it's
right.
always a solid meal out there. I'll go in there and drop like $20. Like that's a lot of food for whereas like the tables aren't big enough for all of my platters that I ordered.
Yeah, no, the only time I've ever seen Journey to the Dumpling is when we were looking at that what was it, Baja Fresh or whatever it was right next door. Yeah, and I've been thinking about I've always been thinking I gotta go there one day, but so far, but I know they just signed a lease to somewhere else, so hopefully it's a little closer to me.
Midtown, I believe,
Is it
downtown.
mid? Okay,
Mhm.
okay,
It's a
yeah.
good meal. Everything they do is just top notch. All their salt and pepper stuff, fire.
Oh, I love my salt and pepper shit. Everything salt and pepper. All right,
Oh,
this
man.
this one this one might get you in a little bit of trouble. It's another top 5, and I know you got a lot of connections out there, but this is coming in hot. So we
All right.
controversial. I need you to give me your top 5 Sacramento influencers.
Influencers. Oh, you're gonna get me in trouble over here.
Hold on, influencers.
We have more than 5. Let's see.
We got more than 5. We got a lot. Everybody calls. They got
Everybody
500 followers. Remember, they influencer.
Oh, dude, trying to get some money out of us. Let's see. You know, you gotta go with the OGs, the ones that always supported us from the get-go. You know, like the people that have always been there. So you gotta go Eats with Mandy for sure. She's always comes through. Eats with Mandy.
Oh, Eats with Mandy. Shout out Mandy. Yep.
Let's see. You know Zane. Zane always shows us love.
All right.
Can't Zane. Let's go. You know the boys at Yellow Brick Group.
Yeah, shout out Yellow Brick Group out there. Still killing the game.
You two, let's go. Guys on the Grid. Brian.
All right,
He always comes through. He always shows us love, makes videos.
Yeah. Yep.
And Sack Food and Booze. Can't forget about them.
All right, cool. Yeah, that was a nice little list there. We could go on and on and on, people, but it's top 5. That's Jake's top 5. Don't add him. Don't add him. All right, Jake. I need your thinking cap on, because this is the time. This is the time of the show where we come in hot.
Hey.
I know you got something brewing. Jake, Bombard. The floor is yours. Come in hot.
Chick-fil-A is trash. That's it.
Hell,
a discussion about
Thank you.
There's a line
every
day.
Oh my goodness.
Every day that line goes out of the street. And who are these people?
Who are they?
Jerry Seinfeld right now. Who is eating Chick-fil-A? Trash.
Hey, I'm still trying to figure it out. When Chick-fil-A and Popeyes were going head to head with the chicken battle or whatever, we made a lot of money, people. When that chicken battle was coming, we had so many people they were going eating 5 chicken sandwiches from 5 different places a day, and we were always on the list. But Chick-fil-A, I don't know what you guys are really looking for, is the fried piece of chicken, a cheap ass bun, and that's it, a couple pickles. All right. If you're looking for a cheap meal, maybe, but I don't know I don't know how they're so popular.
I'll take a McChicken over a Chick-fil-A any day of the week.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with the big chicken.
The big chicken's fire. It's fire. Hey, I'm with you on that one. Hey, go ahead and plug our socials. Plug your social. Anything else you need to add? Go right ahead. The floor is yours. Yeah, Chick-fil-A's garbage. But yeah, plug everything we need to plug, Jake.
Follow us on all socials. Is at Nationberg. You already know what it is.
Yep.
Let's see. My personal, if you have any questions, is at Bruce with the Broskies. On Instagram, on Facebook, Jake Bombard. No, nothing else. That's about it. buy Bitcoin.
I put some money down on it. We'll see if anything happens. I've been this is right there. I'm not gonna mess with it. You told me not to mess with it, so it's in there. I bought it. It's the second time that I got crypto. I got out a little too early last time, but I still made some money. And yeah, Bitcoin. We'll try.
Bitcoin.
All right.
Change the world over there.
All right. Thank you, Jake Bombard, co-owner of Nash and Proper. This is our first Meet the Crew podcast. Like I said, I'm gonna do it every month and a half to 2 months. Who should I have? Who should be the next crew member? We'll go there. Who should be the next crew member?
I mean, go Matt, because I would say Matt Roach.
Roach. Yeah, I'll get him on here.
Calling out Matt.
Them blue eyes and a shy ass motherfucker. He gonna get on here. All right. For coming in hot, I am Chef Cease. Again, follow us at Nash and Proper for that most delicious, mouth-watering, hot chicken sandwich. Remember, we're the OGs of Sacramento. At Coming In Hot, at Chef Cease on all social media handles. Thank you. We love you. See you next week. Peace.